I'm Abrielle Millett for BYU-Idaho Radio, and I'm here today with Lisa Simmons. She's the executive director of the nonprofit Downtown Driggs Association, and we're here to kind of talk about this festival that they have. This is the 15th Annual Driggs Plein Air Festival that's happening, and it's July 22nd through August 1st. Before we kind of talk about the Plein Air Festival, I always think it's a good idea for our audience to get to know who we're talking to. So can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and kind of, I guess, your role in the Downtown Driggs Association and the festival?
Absolutely. So I'm Lisa Simmons. I'm the executive director of the nonprofit Downtown Driggs Association, and I've had the privilege of leading this wonderful organization for the past 5 years. Before joining the Downtown Driggs Association, I spent my career in art museums and public lands. So I was an associate curator and educator at the National Museum of Wildlife Art prior to this position. I've worked at the Baltimore Museum of Art, Cleveland Museum of Art, Denver Art Museum, big civic art museums in the U.S., and worked as a park ranger at Grand Teton and Arches National Parks. So I feel like all of those experiences have sort of led me to where I am today because they all centered on connecting people with art, culture, history, and place. You know, it truly takes a village. I cannot take credit for the event itself. I work with a wonderful team of people to bring all the pieces together, from planning and fundraising to artist recruitment and hospitality. We have more than 20 community volunteers that help make the festival possible. They're amazing. Many have been volunteering since the beginning of the festival 15 years ago. Business partners, big shout out to our title sponsor, Sunray Enterprises, marketing, community partnerships. It involves our incredible staff, board members, artists, sponsors, local businesses, volunteers. It's a big production, and it's always a pleasure and a joy to put it on with that team.
Like I told you earlier, I've had the opportunity to speak more to some of the people that have worked at the Downtown Driggs Association, and I think it's awesome, all the things that you guys do, and especially for the Plein Air Festival, this is another really big event that you guys do, and I think it's exciting. But to give people a better idea for those who might not be familiar with the term, can you give us a little more insight into what Plein Air Festival implies and what is plein air?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good question that lots of people ask. So plein air is a French term that simply means painting outdoors in open air. Sort of rather than working from a photograph in a studio, artists set up their easels directly in the landscape and are able to respond to changing light, weather, colors, and the atmosphere around them. So Teton Valley is a truly extraordinary place for this kind of work because we have such a diversity of landscape. There's gorgeous mountains, waterways, working farms, meadows, forests, sagebrush in our historic downtown here in Driggs, all within a pretty small area. We're a part of the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. So, really, there's a reason that we're a mecca for millions of visitors a year from around the world. This place is incredible. The wildlife, the ecosystems, and the views, just a gorgeous place to soak in the natural world through art.
I just imagine that's like the perfect, or one of the most perfect spots to do this type of festival in.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're spot on. I would agree with that. There are plein air festivals around the world and many in the United States. So it's interesting. A lot of the artists that participate in the Driggs Plein Air Festival will do a circuit and travel around the U.S. and participate in festivals, pretty often throughout the year. So it's kind of fun in that way.
Yeah, that's super exciting. And I know that this is the second year that you guys have been doing an actual jury for the artists that are coming in, right? So you have 70 nationally acclaimed artists. Can you tell us a little more about that process and kind of what that adds or changes to the festival in general? These artists, kind of apply to come in.
So for the majority of the life of this festival, when registration goes live, any artist could register, sign up, and then when the roster was full at 70 or 75 artists, that was it, which was wonderful. It was a great way for emerging artists to be able to participate and join the festival, take workshops and advance their skills in plein air painting. And so over time, we've seen a lot of younger or less established artists become more established and advanced. And which, it just felt like the natural next step to create a juried entry process. So now artists, they can go online to our website when registration goes live in January. They have to upload examples of their work, images of their work, and then there's a short application, some content they have to fill out. And then it's presented to a jury. So a group of individuals here in Teton Valley who are artists themselves, who will review the applicants and then make their selections. So, we've had over 150 applicants this year, and we capped the total at 70. And I think it's cool because just we've seen a lot of nationally or even globally known artists start to really join the competition and participate who may not have before because of this juried entry process. And the quality of work is just incredible. And we encourage artists who maybe aren't quite at that level yet to take the workshops offered during the festival, advance their craft and then apply again. So that's kind of the process that we have now.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I love the opportunity, for these emerging artists, you said, to become more established and kind of show what they can do, and also for those who maybe didn't get into that process can come in, like you said, and participate in the workshops. This festival is much of it's open to the public, right? Can you tell us, for a public participant, what will this festival be like, and what can they do, or what might interest someone who's maybe just a lover of art, maybe not quite someone who feels an artist himself?
Yeah, absolutely. So like everything the nonprofit Downtown Driggs Association does, all of our events and programs are free and accessible, open to anyone. Of course, if you're a registered art, you have to register to be a participating artist, but there are a wide range of events within the festival that the community and visitors from all over will come to participate in. So it's really lots of opportunities. The opening celebration is a wonderful time and that's Sunday, July 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. And that's outdoors at Driggs Plaza. We have the Aaron Ashton Gypsy Jazz Band playing. They're incredible. So they'll be playing on the outdoor stage. We'll have hundreds of plein air paintings available for sale. The artists will be on site. People can mingle with the artists. We'll have Dragon Bowl's food truck on site. We have a beer and wine tent and non-alcoholic options as well. So it's a really fun event to sort of unwind on a Sunday evening, a beautiful summer evening in the Tetons. Browse, you don't have to purchase the artwork. You can just come and view it. Or if you feel compelled, if you're a even emerging or advanced collector, you can purchase a piece of Teton Valley and take it home with you that evening. So this festival is great for emerging collectors, people who may not have a comprehensive art collection but are interested in starting. The price points are varied. So, they're accessible to newer collectors, and then they kind of go up from there. So you'll find that I think the price points of the paintings are, accessible to a wide range of people, which is wonderful.
Yeah, I imagine that it could also be fun for, these are pieces that these artists are making during the festival, right? They're painting outside and they're making that, and that's a piece that if it's something that you want, you could buy it, and it's like an original piece of work.
It's interesting. The artist can bring 4 works of art from home. They can check in as early as July 22nd. So that's why we say the festival starts on July 22nd. Artwork will be for sale almost immediately as soon as artists start bringing in their plein air paintings that they have from home. And that's just to kick off sales. So we will hang those. They'll be available for sale. And then the artists have to have their canvases stamped. So we put a date and the Driggs Plein Air stamp on the back of their canvases. So it proves that they've painted them within the confines of the festival dates. And then they go out into the valley. You'll see them painting on the highways, up in the mountains, in the backcountry, next to houses and businesses and everything in between, along the Teton River, in farms, you name it. So it's so fun. People, will come here and you'll see all the 70 artists painting throughout the valley. And each of them has 4 spots to display their artwork. So, in the end, we'll have, 500 paintings that have cycled through the festival. Wow. From July 22nd to August 1st. So the gallery is like the landscape, constantly changing, and you'll see new paintings every single day. So often people will come every day and walk through the gallery and see the new pieces. And the gallery is at the Driggs City building. So it's 60 South Main Street, just in downtown Driggs. And we also have a big white tent set up outside on Driggs Plaza with more paintings for sale. So wide variety of opportunities to see gorgeous, fine art created here in Teton Valley outdoors.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun, and I like that it's stamped, that evidence, but also I feel like that just makes it so fun to be like, this was painted during this time, or even for the artists if they take it home to know, like, I painted that during that festival. So what are some of the traditions that the Plein Air Festival has now, having run for 15 years?
Right. Great question. So, there's always been sort of an opening celebration, and I mentioned that as being on July 26th with the concert and all the paintings for sale. The Grand Targhee Resort Paint Out has been a longstanding tradition and a really awesome opportunity. So the artists will take the Dreamcatcher lift up to the top of Fred's Mountain at Targhee, and they will paint together. This is not actually a judged competition event. It's just a time for the artists to gather and capture the gorgeous, just sweeping view of the Tetons up there at top of the lift. And so we encourage anyone to take the lift up or make a day of it, hike up. It's a great hike. And then watch them create their works, and then take the lift back or hike back, grab lunch at one of Targhee's awesome restaurants, or ride on their single track, and just really make a day of it. So going to Targhee and seeing them paint, and then most of those paintings will be back at the gallery soon after for sale. And often people will go up, they'll meet the artist, they'll see their process, and they'll be like, I want this painting, and can actually, sort of claim it and then we sell it to them back at the plaza, so at the gallery. So that's pretty fun too. And then, of course, the quick draws. Those are probably my favorite events. So we have 2 of them. This year, the quick draw is in downtown Driggs. So on Tuesday, July 28th, artists check in as early as 7 a.m. And then they have just a few hours to spread out within a few blocks of the downtown stoplight and capture our beautiful, historic, quaint, lovely downtown in paint. The media for Driggs Plein Air is either oil paintings, watercolor, or pastel. So it has to be a painterly media. So you'll see that variety of media offered throughout the festival. So that's really fun to sort of grab a hot drink in the morning and stroll around downtown Driggs and watch the painters in action. And then that same day, so they have to be back with their still wet works framed and ready for People's Choice voting at 11 a.m. at Driggs Plaza. So we have people coming from all over to experience this event and then vote for their favorites. So voting is from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. and then we do the awards. So that's super fun too. A really fun day to be part of the artistic process and explore beautiful downtown Driggs. And I would also recommend for people who haven't participated in the event before. This is just the second year we've done this as a night devoted directly to collectors. So again, you don't have to be an established expert art collector to participate, or an art collector at all, really. There are some people who just come because they think it's a fun night. But artists have to have their 4 works that are designated for the final competition up on the wall by Thursday, July 30th at 4 p.m. So once they have them all up on the wall, the gallery is full of the competition pieces designated for competition. So these are the best of the best works that the artists have created during the festival that they want the competition judges to judge and review. So we've decided to celebrate that evening and open the gallery to collectors that night. So they have first view of all of the pieces designated for competition. And that's at the Driggs City Gallery, again, Thursday, July 30th. And master plein air painter John Lintott, who is also a festival judge, will offer a talk called The Influence of Plein Air Painting on Western Art. And that starts at 6 o'clock. And so we'll have light refreshments available, just a fun night to mingle with the artists, connect with them more deeply, have a little art history lesson, and purchase works if you're so inspired. So that's our second year of doing that. And the one new thing this year, and we try to make something new each year, is that we will have a nocturne award. So a nocturne division for the plein air. And nocturne simply means a painting that is created in the evening and reflects the beautiful colors and tone and feel of, the nighttime in Teton Valley. So artists can create these nocturnes, and there'll be a special award for that. And the award ceremony that all are invited to, as always, it's free to attend, is from 5 to 6 p.m. Friday, July 31st. So we encourage everyone to attend that too.
Yeah, that collector's night sounds a lot of fun, and I like that nocturne award. That sounds like a lot of fun to, showcase the valley in lower light or during the evening. I think that's awesome. Where can someone go to get more information on the events and the schedule of this festival?
Absolutely. So the festival runs July 22nd through August 1st, but as we discussed, the core events for the public that are all free to attend take place from July 26th with the opening celebration through August 1st. And artwork is available throughout the festival at the Driggs City Gallery, 60 South Main Street. For a complete schedule, gallery hours, information about the artists, and event details, visit downtowndriggs.org. And right on the homepage, there's a button you can click, Driggs Plein Air Festival, to find out all the details. So we encourage folks to visit our website to find out. And there's a lot more offered than I mentioned. So check it out. And we'd love to have anyone, even if you don't buy artwork, come and experience this festival. It's just a really wonderful way to connect with the arts and the natural world here in Driggs, Idaho.
Yeah, I think this is a wonderful festival. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, Lisa?
We're excited. Everything that the nonprofit Downtown Driggs Association does is geared towards building community here in Teton Valley, elevating our local businesses through economic vitality. Our events bring people here to experience this wonderful place, and in turn that brings foot traffic and awareness of our wonderful local businesses. So when you come to visit the festival, see the artistic process visible right there, potentially buy a work of art or just participate in an event. We encourage everyone to shop and dine locally and experience our beautiful historic downtown, because that's a big part of our mission and what we do.
I'm Abrielle Millett for BYU-Idaho Radio, and I've been here today on the phone with Lisa Simmons. She's the executive director of the nonprofit Downtown Driggs Association, and we've been discussing the 15th Annual Driggs Plein Air Festival. This is happening July 22nd when the artists come in through August 1st. This has so many events and so many things, and everyone should go to experience this. This is an art event that is worth experiencing. So thank you so much, Lisa, for your time and for telling us more about this festival. I'm really excited for it.
Thank you, Abrielle. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about this event, and we appreciate your time with the interview.